Your Honor, I remember May of 1996 vividly. I was 13 years old. My older sister was getting ready to graduate high school and attend college in the fall. I remember all the moms in my quiet San Diego community upset and concerned after learning about Kristin's disappearance. Here was this beautiful college freshman last seen with the convicted murderer Paul Flores, and no sign of her since. This could happen to anyone's child. Little did I know at the time what Paul Flores did to Kristin would impact the rest of my life in more ways than one. Fast forward to 2002, when I first met Matt Smart in college. I remember the first time Matt told me about Kristin. It brought back the fear and anxiety of my parents and community all over again. I have been a member of the Smart family for 20 years and have experienced all the trials and triumphs that have come along with this case. The impact of Paul killing Kristin has always been felt, but the impact over the last 3 years has never been stronger. I never had the opportunity to meet my sister-in-law. She was taken away from her family 6 years before I met Matt. Matt's well-being has always been my first priority when it came to Kristin's case. He is quite guarded, which is to be expected. Matt, as well as his parents, Stan and Denise, and younger sister Lindsay, all have tremendous resilience and strength. I have always been amazed at how they continue to live life to the fullest and are not full of anger or hatred, as I feel others in this situation might be. I have been greatly impacted by Paul. He has put us in a club no family or human cares to belong to. As Matt's wife, I have found myself as a rock for our family during these difficult times. The weight of meeting the emotional, social well-being of the entire family, keeping routines in the house in order while Matt is out of town at court, just trying to hold it all together while feeling extremely sad and overwhelmed, has fallen on my shoulders. It has been lonely and terrifying, as others I know cannot relate to what we are going through. I can only believe that my recent health issues over the last few years have been exacerbated by the stress of this case. The anxiety of the situation and the disruption from the preliminary hearing and the trial not only impacted Matt, me, and our kids, it has also impacted my parents and my sister's family. Thankfully, my family has been a huge support system to Matt and myself, but to say that they have not been impacted by Paul's decisions is an understatement. The impact of what Paul has done has not only affected Matt, our families, and myself, but it has now trickled down and is impacting our own children. As a mother, there is no guidebook on how to parent, but there is definitely not a guidebook on how to tell your children that their auntie was raped and murdered and you don't know where her body is. This is never anything I have imagined having to tell our children, as I always believed we would one day get Kristin back and be able to put her to rest as she deserves. Instead, I am attempting to answer questions from two inquisitive children who want answers about our family member, who my kids and I never got to meet. Sadly, our children have come to learn that real monsters like Paul Flores do exist. Their innocence has been taken away. Over the last 3 years, our children have learned the truth. Hurt people hurt people. What a hard lesson to learn at a young age. This truth has caused unnecessary stress and anxiety in 2 innocent children under 8. We have had many days when our oldest is in tears if Matt or myself leave for the grocery store or short outings, let alone a weekend away. The impact of Paul's choices has instilled fear and anxiety in our children about losing another loved one or family member. We have worked with professionals to help our children and ourselves heal. Countless hours of difficult emotions have been explored. It infuriates me that this is our reality, as no one should have to go through this, especially innocent children. Lastly, the impact of time dedicated to the mess Paul created has affected me and my family. With no closure, as Kristin is not with us, we have waited years for Paul to be arrested, waited months for a preliminary hearing and trial, and now we wait for sentencing and for Paul to be moved to prison. This waiting and not having closure continues to disrupt our lives. Paul always had a choice to end this madness, but instead he has chosen to not speak a word for almost 27 years. Stories of Auntie Kristin will continue to be told, keeping her spirit alive. Tragically, there is no way I can fill the void in our lives because of the poor choices Paul made that night of May of '96. This tragedy and the impact it has had on me and my family will never go away, and the pain Paul has caused will be felt for years to come. as our kids grow up to raise children of their own. However, I do not doubt that our family will go through this heartache, stress, and anger and evolve to a higher, kinder consciousness despite the terror Paul has caused. We won't let evil win. Given the impact of Paul and his choices, I'm asking you, Your Honor, to please give Paul the maximum sentence allowable by law with no parole. He's shown us no reason. He'll never change his ways, no remorse, and is a threat to society. Thank you.